We do want to move to our southern border right now, where massive executive action from President Biden is likely coming within days. Biden is expected to sign a sweeping executive order that would shut down the border as soon as a threshold is reached, automatically denying those who do not make the cut. Now, this announcement comes as the president has been facing mounting pressure from both sides of the aisle over his handling of the border crisis, which has seen unprecedented illegal crossings into the U.S. NewsNation correspondent Jorge Ventura joining us live from San Antonio with the new information we're getting on this tonight. Jorge.
Well, Natasha, as tensions continue to rise on the U.S.-Mexico border, President Biden is set to sign a new border executive order meant to address illegal immigration and speed up deportations. But this coming at a crucial time as Mexico gears up for its presidential elections this Sunday. The two leading candidates, Claudia Sheinbaum and Xochitl Gálvez, facing massive pressure to address cartel violence, an issue crucial to U.S. and Mexico relations.
President Joe Biden is finalizing plans for a major clampdown on the U.S.-Mexico border. One community leader in Arizona telling NewsNation that it is coming on Tuesday and that the White House has been contacting border city mayors, inviting them to attend the announcement. The forthcoming executive order aims to shut off asylum requests and deny entry to migrants once a daily threshold for entries is reached. While illegal crossings have declined in recent months, Americans increasingly rank immigration towards the top of their concerns as we move further into the presidential election season. Meanwhile, south of the border, Mexico is preparing for one of its most pivotal elections in history. Voters will choose between two female candidates, Claudia Sheinbaum and Xochitl Gálvez. Both promise to tackle the country's rampant cartel violence, but the strategies differ. Experts warn that the cartels are increasingly influencing the election, with reports of violence at campaign events and threats against candidates. More than 30 political candidates have been killed this year alone, highlighting the severe danger that looms over the election.
So if Sheinbaum is in fact the second coming of AMLO, and she is going to carry on the AMLO administration and strategy, that's bad for, U.S.-Mexico relations. Xochitl Gálvez winning will be good for our shared battle against the cartels and against the rampant crime in Mexico.
Candidate Claudia Sheinbaum, the current frontrunner and a close ally of the current president, López Obrador, pledges to continue his populist policies. However, she faces criticism for the ongoing violence under his administration, claiming that the strategy has been built to build peace rather than declare war. Obrador's full 6-year term is still the bloodiest on record, with over 185,000 murders through April. One major goal for Sheinbaum: cut Mexico's murder rate. To do this, she plans to double the number of federal investigators from 4,000 to 8,000 and add 30,000 national troops to the existing force. However, her opponent, Xochitl Gálvez, is vowing to take a tougher stance against the cartels, promising a crackdown on criminal activity. It's not just cartels and human trafficking. Mexico is a primary source of illicit drugs coming into the U.S. Mexican drug cartels are now operating in all 50 states, wiping out the competition. More than 200 Americans die every day from fentanyl, more than 38,000 deaths last year alone. The DEA calling cartels the greatest drug threat the U.S. has ever faced. Mexico's current president has said he won't fight drug cartels on U.S. orders, saying, "We are not going to act as policemen for any foreign government." How the new Mexican president will cooperate with President Biden remains uncertain. With López Obrador's hugs not bullets policy failing to curb violence, many hope for a stronger partnership to combat cartels. As the election approaches, the future of U.S.-Mexico relation hangs in balance.
Now, Claudia Sheinbaum is currently leading in the polls. We will know the final results in a few hours. This will determine the cause, of course, against cartel violence in Mexico. We'll keep you updated on this story, Natasha.
Okay, Jorge Ventura live for us in San Antonio tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.